Welcome, everyone, to the variety show Without a Clue. Guests from all over the world come from all walks of life and all careers to come on and tell us about themselves and give us a little bit of their insight. So grab a seat, relax, and listen, because this is the Leo Effects. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another exciting episode. Today I have with me the youngest guest I have had to date, and his name is Austin Foxx. How are you doing today, Austin?
I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm doing very well, thank you for asking. So, the first question I got for you is, I think the very first question is, how old are you?
I am 13 years old at the moment.
At the moment. I like that. So, the first question I usually ask people is if they can tell us, or tell the listeners at home rather, what have you been in? What predominant things have you done?
Well, my first thing ever I've done, which I still remember, was I was in a TV show called Murder Made Me Famous on the Reels channel. So it was the first role I ever got in a great TV show. Actually, one of the main roles.
Okay.
I played the young killer. It was an episode about Gary Ridgway, the Green River Killer. So I played the young version of him, where I basically played flashbacks of his story and stuff. And the biggest project I've done, which is actually came nearly right after that, was a movie that's actually coming out soon on Netflix called Eli. E-L-I. And I played a ghost in that movie. And the trailer is out right now if you want to go see that. You just look up Eli trailer Netflix. Pretty simple. Just Google that. You'll find it. So that's coming out around October 18th.
Okay.
So those are the two main projects I've done. And I got more if you want to hear. And I'm sure you do, don't you? Don't you?
Well, of course I do. That's awesome.
I wrote, directed, and starred in a movie I made called Mom. And it is a movie we pretty much finished up post-production, and we are actually submitting it in film festivals and doing all those, which is very fun.
Wow. So you wrote, directed, and starred in that one, huh?
Mhm.
Holy cow. And I think if I remember correctly, you were 12 when you did that.
Yeah, not too long ago.
Dang. That's better than most people I know that are, 40 and 50. So congratulations.
Thank you.
So I got to ask, what made you decide to get into this whole acting, directing, writing lifestyle?
Well, what made me want to get into it was my dad used to be a filmmaker in California. He had his own film production company called Lifeline Entertainment. And I decided I would like to do that. I want to write a movie, considering how young I am.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of just started with a conversation with my dad. We were coming back from an audition, and the idea came up with, what if I, being so young, wrote a movie? And we were kind of coming up with subjects, and starting listening to the news on the radio, I came up with an idea about what if there was this kid, their mom died, no one to take care of them except the oldest sibling. It seems like an idea that's never been done before, so I decided, hey, I could do that. And that's how it all came to be.
That's a pretty cool little origin story there. You kind of steered away from what, the normal stuff like, oh, let's do superheroes or let's do a comedy. You kind of you took it in a very serious direction. I like that. So,
hmm
so you've been working on a lot of stuff and all of that. What would be your ideal movie? Like, if you could be in any movie you want, what would it be?
Hmm. Any movie I want, if I could be in it, I would actually be very. I would actually love to be in this movie where this kid, where just an adventure story, going out and on a cool adventure, seeing all these things, running into trouble. Just one of those movies.
That's
I just
cool.
love
That's cool.
adventures, and if I, so I really want to be in one of those movies. Just so much exploring. I would be delighted if I was in one of those.
Okay. That's cool. I think that'd be a fun movie to watch. um, well, you've got a whole bunch of different stuff that you've done. What do you like to do the most out of those things? Do you prefer acting? Do you prefer the directing part, the writing?
I prefer the acting mostly. I find it much funner and better, more. You can do way more with the acting. It's what I prefer. The writing and directing has their own things. They're fun. You get to control. You get to write the story. But overall, the acting, it's kind of more a mystery and adventure because you don't know what you're going to be doing. As a director, you know. So just going over being able to explore all that with the acting is what I prefer the most.
That's cool. I can dig it. That's pretty cool. Well, you sound like a very smart kid, but I don't mean to
Oh,
say kid in that, you know, in a bad way. You've got that presence about you. I think you're gonna go far. You got some good stuff going for you. So,
thank you very much.
yeah, I hope that you definitely have bigger and better things coming. Are you going to be doing more stuff in the future?
Oh, most definitely I'm going to be doing more.
Okay.
There's never, I'm this young, I still got a long ways to go.
There you go. That's a
But I
good
can
attitude.
assure you I'll be doing more in the future.
Awesome. When you were going through the process of doing your own movie, did you have to deal with, hiring actors and things like that? Or was this, just you and a few close people you know?
Well, overall, we actually got this really awesome casting director to help us out in Cat's casting. She helped us out with finding a bunch of these actors. They would all submit. We'd review over them. It was amazing. So we found the ones we liked, and a few family members asked if they could be in it as well.
Of
So
course.
we gave them some parts, so you can see some of my family members in it, like my cousin Dylan, for example, was in one of the scenes. So yeah, he got to experience what it was like on a movie set. Yeah,
Oh,
but Kathy was really helpful in getting all our actors
that's cool.
together.
So you got to sit in the director's chair and yell action and cut and all that good stuff, or is that just stuff you see in the movies?
Well, other than just the directing, also starring in it, kind of got to do a mixture of both. But I actually had this really cool assistant first AD and this really great director of photography to help out. The film production company we actually partnered up with to make Mom is Winning Film Productions. We would not have been able to make this movie without them. And I'm really
Oh,
thankful for all the help they gave us in this. They taught me so much about how it works behind the camera and all that. They seriously helped so much.
that's great.
So having a great first AD and second AD, they helped guide me through it, having to do the part of acting and directing. So without them, I don't think it would have turned out as good. So,
Wow. Well, that's cool of them, giving you those tips and everything. You think you'll be able to use a lot of that with the next one you come out with?
oh yeah, I've learned a lot from them. So
Cool.
if I ever make another movie, I'll just learn some back on what they told me.
Ah. Aha. The secrets.
Yeah.
Do you have any funny
Can't tell you
stories?
all my stuff, can I?
Do you have any funny stories from, that happened during filming or anything like that?
Funny stories. Let me think here. Well, not really funny, but when we were getting some of the props for some of the scenes, we did this little thing we posted about all the items and stuffed animals we got received.
Uh-huh.
And we did that, and that was kind of funny. There was this little fat bear with a small head. I really liked that one, my favorite.
Did you get to keep all of your props and things like that, or did you have
No,
to? You had to
I
get rid of
wish
them,
we
huh?
did.
Yeah, I bet you
we
would have
had
liked to
to send
keep
it back.
that.
Of course I want to
Wow.
keep that little fat bear. It looks so cute.
That's cool. So you pretty much, it sounds like you had a good amount of help doing all of this and getting this thing together. So you had a pretty good support from your dad there and your mom?
Yes. My dad helped out the most with the producing, getting everything managed. My dad is awesome. Really helps me out with this stuff. He helps me push me forward. I just have to thank a lot of people for this production. People,
Nope.
everyone in the movie helps each other out a lot. And it all comes together into this beautiful, beautiful movie. So
Well, it's always...
my mom would always visit the movie set with us, always checking everything out, seeing how it was going. That was funny. She just wanted to visit every day.
Well, it's always good to have help and people who can get in your corner and, make sure that things go all right, especially when you're trying something new like that. So that's always good, right?
Yeah, it always is good. You need some help in your life. Can't do everything alone.
Right. And I'd have to agree with you. Setting all of this up and getting to talk to you today and everything, that was a product of speaking with your dad, and he's a really good guy. He really did make things come together. So I gotta thank him,
He's awesome.
especially
Awesome.
for reminding me of that you guys were in Texas, not Arizona. So
Over here waiting in my closet.
oh, geez.
He'll call eventually.
Yeah, I apologize. For some reason, I thought you were in Arizona, so I had a whole nother hour, and I did not. So I
We both had
appreciate
to
you.
scramble.
Yeah, well, I'm appreciating you still coming on and talking to me, though, and giving me the time of day, even though I'm completely unprofessional.
Of course I wouldn't have abandoned you.
So you just do all, like, did you shoot your movie or your shows on like a different location, or is this all stuff that you did right in your neighborhood, or did you have to fly to like California or something?
Oh no, we could not have done that. Transporting off. No. For this independent film production, we actually did almost everything local and in the town. Probably just only a few scenes that were out of the town that I can remember. But most of it was done here in Fort Worth.
Oh,
so
okay.
we didn't really have to do too much traveling except to the areas. These really nice family actually left Balder House for 7 days so we can film most of the scenes.
Wow.
And having to find someone that would let us do that was very time-consuming. Because, of course, no one wants their house being used up by a bunch of people for a movie for 7 days.
Right.
Not many people would like that.
You see, the only time I ever saw that was in the show Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. They rented out their house.
I love that too. Watched all the time when I was.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask you next. Is what kind of genre of movies are your favorite?
Genre. I don't really take favorite genres for stuff like movies, music, all that. It's kind of watch what I watch, and I'll like it or I won't. Oh, but I'm really into Star Wars. I watch that a lot. Me and my dad go see all the new movies that come out.
That's cool.
I'm also a big fan of comedy shows, comedy movies.
Right.
Like those. And even though I'm 13, I still enjoy some cartoons. Don't tell the little kids at school.
Hey, I'm 37. I still enjoy cartoons, so there ain't no shame in
Who
that.
doesn't like cartoons?
Exactly. That's great. Well, that's cool. I'm glad to hear that you're a well-rounded individual. You aren't focused on one particular thing at the moment. So, well, I'm sure that dealing with all the people out there and everything, that had to have been quite crazy. But did filming it in that location, did that help your little area out? Did people come up and say, oh, thanks to you, we got more business and all that? Or did they just not care?
Oh, no, it wasn't that big. And then I did just think of a really funny story.
Okay.
While we were filming one of the scenes, I don't want to spoil too much, although we were filming a scene where the man goes in and Danny Foxx to a drug dealer. And this woman, I didn't get a view of it because we were out filming and stuff, the scene. But apparently from the crew, they told us that this lady had come up taking pictures of all our license plates and stuff and then drove off. That was a little crazy scene. Just remembered that.
That's good.
No, we weren't that big. Wait. Well, at the scene we were filming where that happened, there is this nice elderly couple that sells fresh fruits and vegetables and tamales. So we bought a few of their stuff. Really delicious tamales, I tell you.
Everybody likes a good tamale. People up here in New York probably don't even know what a tamale is, but that's all right. Any of us who've been down there know.
I used to think you actually ate through the little...
Oh, the corn husk?
I didn't know you actually put it open and then eat the inside.
Oh, I bet that would have been fun to watch.
Yeah. Good thing I knew better at that time.
Goodness. So I got to ask a couple of more, I don't know if you want to call them personal questions, but they're more, selective questions. So you said you like to watch...
know me questions.
Yeah, I mean, you said you like to watch cartoons. So what kind of cartoons do you watch?
Lots of Nickelodeon cartoons. Those things you watch when you're little.
Right.
I still enjoy those. They're simple.
Because who doesn't like Nickelodeon, right?
Enjoy. Yeah, like SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents, all those.
That's cool.
I still
So what do your friends think about, and like classmates and stuff, think about you being a director / writer / actor?
Some days they don't care. Other days they're bugging you about it. They're like, "Oh, where's your movie coming out?" Oh, during one of our classes in the computer lab, there's some of my classmates Googling me, seeing if they can find images and pictures of me, and like, oh my gosh, you're on Google. You have like 5 photos. My gosh, you're famous.
That's brilliant.
And one of my teachers absolutely loves that I'm a movie star. I was in one of her classes, and now she just tells all the teachers, he is in my class. So I have to update her regularly on stuff that comes out, and she absolutely loves it.
That's great. You can't take little things like that for granted, I guess.
Yeah.
So what you said it wasn't like quote unquote that big, but obviously it was a production. So, you had to have all these different things involved and stuff. So was it hard to balance your school life and filming and having, a social life with your friends?
Sorta, yeah. When we were doing the production, I was actually homeschooled, so I didn't have to worry about school too much.
Okay, all right.
But being away from your friends while doing all this can kind of get a little lonely. But at least working with the actors and the crew and all that,
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad. We still miss their friends. So, homeschooling wasn't that bad. Although I'm back in public school now for the time.
Right,
so
right.
A little bit. I'm back on that. I get to see all my friends. It's not that hard. It's not that difficult. Although it really depends on the production, though. Some cases you have to travel away to a different state, different country.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that, yeah, you're basically saying you're away from the friends. Only got time to call them.
Yeah, but I mean, you still find time, right?
Yeah, you can always find time. Like on your time, call them, tell them how's it going.
Yeah.
It's not super bad. Although after a long time, yeah, might lose a bit of contact with them.
Well, as long as you call them every once in a while.
Yeah.
I had heard something about going to some festival. Was it next week in Arizona? Is that why I'm remembering Arizona?
Probably, yeah. We are traveling to a film festival next week. Going there for some days.
Cool.
That's probably why you thought we were in Arizona.
Yeah. Are you all just heading up there just to check out the film festival, or is your thing going to be in that?
Our movie is going to be screened there, and we're going to be up for the awards ceremony. So, traveling there, seeing what people think, and having a good time.
Heck yeah. That sounds like a good time. Well, that's awesome.
Very good time.
But we're coming up on the end of the show here. So in these last few moments, what I like to do here is let the guest go ahead and say, just kind of recap anything that you might want people to go check out, where they can go see, more of your stuff. Potentially, if you want them to friend you on Facebook or whatever you might have, you can go ahead and do all that at this last part of the show.
All right. Well, I'll be putting in the show October 18th. Eli's coming out on Netflix. Check that out. A lot of great people in that show. Facing from Stranger Things is in it. Charlie Shotwell is in it. A bunch of Max Martini, Kelly Riley, all those great people. Hope I said that last one right. So you'll definitely want to check it out on Netflix, October 18th.
Cool.
I have an Instagram. If you want to go there, want to kind of see what I'm up to, what's going on, you can check that out. Austin Foxx, 2 X's. You should find it.
Okay.
There. And that's kind of it so far.
All right. That's cool. Keeping it small, easy to find. I like it.
Yep.
But, I just want to say thank you very much for bearing with me, coming on, listening to my silly questions, and answering them very, very wonderfully.
Thank you for having me on. I really enjoyed it.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. You were a very, 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 very great guest. I was not expecting this. When they said what your age was, I definitely did not expect this caliber of, just quality. You're a very well-spoken dude. So I appreciate that.
Well, if you said about me, well, you are a very, very, very great, what's the word? What should I for you? Radio host, podcast maker. How do you want me to call you?
I guess just host. Yeah, I think that's the correct term. I'm still new at this too.
You're a very, very, very great host for having me on.
Perfect. I love it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for tuning in and checking us out and listening to myself and Mr. Austin Foxx here go back and forth and answer some questions to get to know him better. It's been great having you listening, and we will see you later.
Bye-bye.
Hey, everyone, this is Ray. Thank you for listening. It's because of listeners like you that I'm able to keep this show going. For more of my shenanigans, check out Realm of the Mist Entertainment, where I'm co-host to Breaking the Fourth Wall, War of the Stars, a Star Wars podcast, Lemmy Stormkiller on Four Corners of Hell, and finally, The Chronicler on Chronicles of the Lost Realm. You can also find me at Shattered Dungeons on YouTube, playing an awesome game called Shattered Dawn. For contact information or to be on the show, check out theleoeffects.wixsite.com/podcast today.